and what you will gain, what you will do a few years, 10, 20 years down the road is beyond your imagination. You have so much to gain, so much to achieve in your life. Only thing you need to make sure that you keep on track with certain basic fundamental life principles. And if you do that, you have a really unbelievable life waiting for you. Now, how can I say without even knowing you? Let me tell you my own story. When I was your age, I would go to school, walk some 4 miles to schools. Sometimes it's 160-degree hot summer. My flip-flop may not be working and I have to walk like that. Sometimes it's a pouring rain. I will not have a plastic to cover it. Now when I say this thing, right away it comes to your mind that, oh my God, that must be really very difficult life, horrible life to live through. You know, surprisingly, in all honesty, I had fun childhood. I had so much fun and so much sweet memories. Now how can it be? So much misery, but so much fun. So how come I say that my life, I had happiness in life? What is the secret formula of happiness? Is what you have minus what you wish for. Simple. So in my life, expectations out of life was zero. If we get a one tennis ball and we keep on playing cricket, the tennis ball will rip apart, completely get balled, and ultimately somebody hits it and gets over, ripped open. And then we all laugh, wow, that was fun. And then we go find something else to do. Meaning, no regret for what we had, no expectations of life, just keep going. And if you have a wish is zero, you have 100% net gain, you have everything to be happy about. It gives me so sad, I felt so sad when I hear in news that 10 or some 20% of youths go or Americans go through depression. You know, the problem is their expectations out of life are so unbelievable, unachievable. Even in Bay Area, living with the best cars and best life. And then out to gain this happiness, what they do is many of them just go for alcohol binging, inject cocaine to get that happiness. And then still they don't get happiness because they get happiness and right away get sad. And then they go in depression, suicide ideations. I mean, what I'm telling you is that you're just missing out the basic fundamental of life. Happiness is not what you may be striving for. So, other point I want to make it is, whatever you are, smart, ugly, short, tall, doesn't matter. Whatever you are, you have to be proud of yourself. Whatever I am, this is what I am. Take it or leave it. And if you keep that principle, first of all, it gives you so much strength because you're not spending too much your energy pleasing others and trying to fit something what you are not. And if you be like that, all of a sudden you feel that you get so jubilated. And the important thing is, whatever you are, if you present it that way, the other parties will really respect you. It's just, this is what I am. Take it or leave it. And you start acting whatever you are, people will respect you. So with that, so basically I'm trying to say that it's okay to be different. And on that subject matter, Hinduism is another one. It's a different religion. I was interesting to find out that you learn Hinduism written by some Catholics. 90% of or 95% of books, what you read about Hinduism, you pick it up, it's written by some Abraham. So I don't know if there is a bias there, but let me tell you Hinduism what I know. Told you already that it's okay to be different, and Hinduism is different too. What I'll tell you, what is the card concept? I wrote this book on interfaith marriage, and it's on this subject: exclusivism versus pluralism. We all talk about pluralism. Yeah, pluralism is good. Every religion claims they are pluralists, but are they really? And that's something, you are the future leader of this world, and you have to go and shape the world. So dwell on it, what I'm telling you. And every stage, I'm not telling you which you could find out on cell phone. Every time, what is in for you? That's what I will try to pink you. What you could take it and keep it for your life. That's important. And if time permits, we'll talk about interfaith marriages too. Hinduism. There are 1 billion Hindus in this world, meaning 1 out of 6 person in this world is Hindu. In America, Hindus are the highest, richest community, even richer than the Jews in America. And literacy in America, there are 85% of Hindus are with a graduate degree, so many master's degrees. So when you will be in big schools, big college, you will always come across many Hindus. So now let's look at who is God. Who is God? Jews call God Lord God. Christians call Father God or Jesus God, Son of a God. Muslim calls it Allah. Now, are these terms interchangeable? No. Muslim will not. Actually, Quran says that to say God has a son is a monstrous falsehood. And they will not, these three faiths will not use this. This is not interchangeable name. Now, what is the name Hindus use to call God? Everything goes. Krishna God? Yeah, Krishna is God. If you ask 100 Hindus, go on the streets and ask them 100 Hindus that is Jesus God? I bet probably 90% will say, yeah, Jesus is God. I mean, I don't pray to that God, but yeah, Jesus is God. Hindu's name is not a living. Now, where does God live? According to Abrahamic scriptures, what you may have learned, God lives there, talks to apostles, apostles put everything in the books, and you read it and get the message. Hinduism whole concept different. Everyone has in your heart, there is an Atma, small piece of God. So anytime you are in search of God, you don't search outside. You don't go to books or like that. You go inside. Search yourself. Analyze yourself. That what does it mean? Many of you, atheists, agnostics, you are all godly people. There is nothing, you are not a sinner if you call I am an atheist, okay with Hinduism. Because everyone carries the God within you. And not only that, the animal, plants, earth, sun, moon, everything to be worshipped. There is no limit who you could or could not worship. Because everything is godly. Everything is making our life easier, better. Is God male? Abrahamic faith says, yeah, refer it as a he in Bible and all that. Hinduism, he, she, it, everything goes. Are Hindu monotheists or polytheists? There are so many gods. We love gods. Truth is, Hinduism is purely a monotheist faith. Because Rigveda said, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. There is only one truth. It's only people call it by different names. So, now, God, sometimes you see Ma Durga, very exotic figure. Let me explain you why we have, what does this mean? If I use analogy, first of all, in Hinduism, whenever we have described Shakti, meaning the power, strength, they always depict a woman. They present, that's women's are strength, power, that's energy, that's what it's depicted as. Ma Durga, if I use the analogy, my pretty wife sitting in the back, we are married for 38 years, she's a form of Durga. You always find her in a very nice, composed face, smiling, right. But at the same token, I'm married for 38 years, and in many times in this married life, I've been devil. And really devil has gone into it and really did so many irrational things. And she will be fearful and still be nicely and smiling. And at the same token, married life, over 38 years, it's interesting that you think that you dated somebody 6 months and you know the person. I'm still figuring out her new characteristics, like different hands you see. So there are so many things in anyone. So what I'm taking for you that when you see somebody, male, female, there are so many qualities what you cannot see on your face value. And there may be so many deeper qualities there. So have patience with that new person and respect them, and more things will come out from that person. And by the way, all those guys, when you get married, keep a photo of Ma Durga in your wallet once in a while, and it will remind you that if you want to make this married life work, respect your wife. I think the girls will appreciate it. So now then you ask that, then why do you have Durga, so many others, why so many gods, and why you need this one? See, this is not God, and it is God. It's like if I use the analogy, the sun and the rays. Now sun is so immense, you cannot feel it, you cannot comprehend what sun is. But we could see when rays comes to earth, we could, yeah, right, that's a rays. We could feel it, appreciate it, and all that. So this is the divine incarnation of God, that's what we see. Then he says, why you have so many gods? You have one. Now, as I said, Hinduism offers so many options. Me as a husband, or if I was to think, that is Lord Rama, who is just ideal husband, and I have to think of him like that. Or the best king, that's the Lord Rama. Lord Krishna, that's who wrote this, that's the Bhagavad Gita. That's one, for many practical issues, that's this one. So many, depending on what situations, you could follow particular deity and to get the inspirations from it. Now he says, no. For me, this deity business, this statues, no, that does not work for me. No problem. Hinduism offers so many paths. Yoga, meaning paths to follow. You could just sit someplace and meditate, go inside and see the God inside you. And that's just good enough, perfectly fine, as much as you could do with any of the deity. Gnana Yoga, that's knowledge, and that's exactly what you are doing. What you are doing today is a godly work. Because if you know what you are, analyze, contemplate on it, you will be a better person, and you will be making this world so much better. And that's a godly work, as far as Hinduism is concerned. Public service, you want to go do charities and nothing else, that's perfectly fine. The Bhakti Yoga, devotion, that's generally, most people consider that that's think that's Hinduism all about. Or even for more Hindus, this Bhakti Yoga makes sense. So what is Bhakti Yoga? So we go to Hindu temple, there are all those deities there, we take this lamp and close our eyes and go. So when the light goes in front of my eyes, close eyes, there is some nice chanting going on, some bell ringing, nice aroma there. You know, it elevates your spirits and you feel more connected to the divine. So that's the reason we have this Bhakti Yoga. Interesting that Hinduism take God as not somebody, but part of your family life. We take the God, put on nice clothes, everyone has God at their home. This is the all those food being offered to God in our Hindu temple. This is in San Bruno. We treat God just like your family member. Just funny thing that if you give this cookie to this guy, probably he will finish half. God is good; he will not touch it. Honestly, I tried many times. So, but that's the way we go. As I said, that this is nothing exotic or like that. We are just different. And there is no way you could say that no. This practice is wrong. It's only has to be this practice. I mean, then, unless God told you that, that's a different story. Is this Bhakti Yoga the way we are saying? Are they only Hindus does it? No. When I go to Catholic church, I see so many statues, beautiful statues. The priest has a lot of glamoring utensils there, bells and whistles and signs. It's really elevated my spirit. So that's Bhakti Yoga in Christianity. Islam, they have a Kaaba, this is a black cube there, and they revere to this one. They go in circumvent, round and round, and even an atheist is sitting here, their spirit will get so elevated seeing this atmosphere, and they start feeling godly. Jewish have their own ways of doing the bhakti yoga. So this is the bhakti yoga. Now, major group of religions, as probably you have already gone through, Abrahamic faiths. Abraham, 3 sons, I describe it that way, that Judaism, Islam, Christianity. That's one father, 3 sons. Versus dharmic faiths, and that is Hinduism, Jainism, Sikhism, Buddhism. And there are a lot of similarities between them. And the major differences you will see is fundamentally there is a big difference between this group of thinking and a variety of. All of them have judgment day, meaning one day you will associate with God. Versus Hinduism, we believe in reincarnation. So next life you will be getting into some next human being, because as I said, the soul is immortal. That's a God. God cannot be killed. So if soul dies, body dies, not the soul dies. So body dies, what happened to souls? Then we say that soul goes to the next body. Circumcision is not there in dharmic faiths. Exclusivism. That's, as I said, that I wrote this book on it. I'm compelled to write on it. When I read the Bible, Torah, Quran, all of them I read it. And I find it out. It says, how many of you know second commandments? Who could say what is the second commandment? Catholic school. I don't know, I should say it or not. Okay.
You should not have isn't there you should not take the Lord's name in vain or something like that?
I'm a jealous God. If you pray to any other God, I'll punish you to 3 to 4 generations.
Oh.
I'm not making up. Check in Google, so all yourself. So, again, that's not what Christian follows. Christians, they go out and do services all over. Scriptures may say anything, and it's true for Hindu scriptures too. You could always find out something to say, but it's what people is being followed. That's more important, and that's not Christians and other faiths people follow. But it's there. I'm just saying. Versus dharmic faiths are fundamentally very pluralist. Pluralist meaning there is all ways are okay. There is no one way or good, better, or like that. Pluralism. In Hindus, they were all, one time they were all Hindus, their area called. Then their Jainism came, becomes, and then there is Buddhism came, Parsis came, Jews came to India. Till that time, not a single person in history was killed because of religion. Not a single person was killed in history. Jews were never discriminated in India, not by Hindu. When Jews came to India, in 800 year, the Hindu king got so excited and they helped him build the synagogue. Wow, great, you have something new to offer. Parsis came and they came from Persia because they got persecuted, came over here. And they live in my state of Gujarat for years, and not a single Parsi was ever harassed because of their religious faith and all that. So that's the beauty of it. Versus exclusivism, millions have been killed in name of religion, and even today, you hear so much killing going on in names of God. And burial versus cremation. Now, what is religion? If you look Abrahamic way of thinking, then these are the qualifications you are fitting, that religion has to have a origin. As far as Hinduism is concerned, there is nothing you could create, nothing you could destroy. Everything is there. World was there for billions of years and will be there for billions of years. If I use the analogy, it's like ocean forms clouds comes, make a rain, river, and ultimately back to river, ocean. So ultimately, point is, it just keeps on changing forms. But it's not that you could create hydrogen atom, whatever. It's just from one thing to you could change the form. So in that respect, Hinduism was eternal. That was don't have to be original. Same thing, founder. It was already there, so you don't have to found it. I mean, God was there forever if you believe in God. I mean, you don't have to, somebody has to found you. They found the God. God don't talk to apostles, as I said, that everyone, including atheists, perfectly fine here. There has to be books, the book. Hinduism don't have the book. We have so many scriptures and more will come. So there is no limit to particular scriptures. Have to have a commandments. I'm glad I don't have to follow. Somebody is not telling me that this is a SOP, live your life by this SOP. I mean, I'm the kind of person, it's just as soon as I get, somebody gives me some borders, I'm glad Ish did not give me borders that what I should say or not. So I'm free to say, and I hope I say okay things. It's basically follow your conscience. I mean, you're smart people. You don't have to be told by your parents or somebody that, no, only this border, this is the way to do X. So basically it says follow the dharma, and that's guidance, big guidance given. And the word religion, re-ligare, meaning you are reassociated. That its concept itself does not fit here, because you're already God. You're already assured. You cannot be disassociated from God. If your Atma gets separated, you are a dead person anyway. So in that case, I mean, this you don't have to reunite. You are already united. So it's only legion. There is no religion. So whether does this concept fits in American mind? Is it a very antique concept to be eliminated? Lisa Miller wrote it in Hinduism in Newsweek that Americans, we all are now Hindus. When I saw it, I said, wow, that's a big boast. What is she trying to say? What is she trying to say? That conceptually, we Americans are now becoming more like Hindus. In a variety of way of thinking of gods and ourselves, lot more becoming not pluralist, they're not that exclusive ideology. For each other and also eternity, what is eternity? 65% of Americans now believe that salvation is possible by other faiths too, it's not only my faith. 24% believe in reincarnation, and more than a third now choose cremation rather than burial. Many become vegetarians, and yoga studios are opening up in every town. So, any questions, guy, you have? Does it make sense what I'm trying to say? Is it something new? What does it make sense?
Like I like how you compared, because I'm Catholic, so I like how you compared like how the Abrahamic kind of like religion versus the Dharmic. So I thought that was like really interesting, and like I like do kind of like see what you're trying to say about how Hindu everything's eternal, like what always like was will still be there, versus for us there always has to be an origin and there has to be an end. And yeah, I understand.
One take-home message, I want to make it clear that whatever your faith is, atheist or Catholic or whatever faith, I'm not here to change your faith. Hinduism don't believe in pluralism. That's not a part of, because everybody are godly, so why I have to make you Hindu, right? So whatever you believe, keep believing it. Only thing I'm just saying that when you learn next thing from your priest or whatever book, always reflect on what I say, and hopefully that will make you a better human being. Make sense? Please.
Are you vegetarian?
I mean, yeah, because again, Hinduism doesn't say that what you could eat and all that. The whole concept is non-violence. So when you have an option between two options, that then you pick the words which is the least violence. So when you eat animals, I mean, and if you see how the animals are being treated, it will. So anytime if I mean, I don't try to be too stickler because it just gets so difficult and all that. Again, I'm looking for excuses. But yeah, every time I end up eating it something, it comes to my mind that, oh my God, where it came from, the way it was treated, and it just makes me sad. But I mean, yeah, sometimes I just practical idea, I go for it. So it's the whole concept is non-violence. That's a fundamental teaching. That's why Hinduism. Other thing you may find it out that Hinduism says that it doesn't say that you cannot lie. That sounds. I mean, can you lie? Let me give you an example. Let's say you are in your home sitting there, your door was open, somebody comes, some girl comes in running inside, hide me, or this guy will kill me, and right away, and you say, undergo. The guy comes with a raging, her husband comes with a gun and raging, and where is that girl? Where is that girl? What you will say? Honest, I'm honest, right here. No, you will say, that door, open door, back door open, she just went that way. So, why you will do it, as per Hinduism is concerned, because between two violence, I mean, you choose the less violence matter, meaning you want to protect her. And so, again, it's not a very dogmatic religion, it's not fixed. I mean, these are general guidance, follow what. Interesting, till I was age 55, I never read any religious book. I read it, why? Because I wanted to write a book. And I said, if I'm writing a book, I mean, somebody will ask, have you read Gita? I said, no, I never read Gita. That's not good. So, and when I read it, I realized that everything what I'm telling you is from there. So, fundamentally, that's why they say Hinduism is a more, the way you live life, way of living. And because I lived that way, I don't have to open the book and find it out, okay, in this situation, let me see what I'm supposed to do. No. So, in that state, probably you heard this dharma, karma, and all that. So, I mean, let me just run by the way what I like to describe. Dharma is some kind of rules, laws, and orders in this world by this world is moving. If you think of it, this world moves so beautifully, nicely. Let's say if this second I got a heart attack and I fall down here, right away you go to open up your iPhone and dial 911. Police will come, ambulance will come, take to hospitals, nurses, doctors, pharmacists. I'll be treated and the Uber will bring me back home. Point is, even though they don't know me, who I am, they are right now working hard for me. They are doing their dharma, and because they are doing their dharma, I am benefiting. So, if we all do our own dharma, what we're supposed to do, your dharma is to study right now. So, just focus on study, that's it. And if you do your own dharma, the whole world will be so beautiful. So, that's the dharma concept. And dharma is not religion, by the way. Karma. Karma is your act, what you do in your life and act. So that's a basic highway. There are good karmas, there are bad karmas and all that. But what Krishna says in Gita, and that's something, if you don't remember anything what I said, at least remember this one, which is very difficult concept, but try. You should do karma without expectations of fruits. You are studying here because you want to gain knowledge, not because you want to get grades, base grade. Don't get stuck on the outcome of your efforts. If I'm a cancer research scientist going to Genentech, doing my own research and all that, my focus should be what I can do for patients. How can I make better drugs? Not that whether if I do these things, I'm going to get promotion. Is it my boss going to recognize? Did I do this thing? Did somebody knew me? If you keep up that, you're going to fail. Your job should be just keep on doing your karma. Don't get stuck on fruits, and that's where the problem is. If you get stuck on fruits, it will just bring a lot of unhappiness there. And as I said, the ahimsa, non-violence, is the fundamental teaching on this one. So I'm summarizing. Let me summarize everything, and I'm leaving a lot of time for questions, answers. As I said that, if you want to be happy, just accept yourself. Whatever you are, this is the way you are, take it. Like it, not. And it's okay to be different. Happiness, I give you the formula. Respect others, I give you that Ma Durga, keep a photo when you get married of a lady. And also in any new person comes, sounds strange and all that, don't discount that person. That is a weirdo. No. You don't know that new attributes that person may have. Sometimes it takes time to gain. So respect all others. And believe me that if you go to somebody and truly, genuinely show your respect for it, the other party will invariably, ultimately, even though in the beginning not, but ultimately they will start loving you. Its actions and reactions are equal and opposite. The way you think of others, the same way other things. If I think that is, and then I try to put a nice smiling face on him, right away he will know what you think. So truly respect others. And as I said, that pluralism is a way to bring peace in this world, and I hope that's something you will contemplate what I'm saying. Karma without expectations of fruit, that should be. Don't worry about what's the outcome, whether you got into big better school or not, doesn't matter. You train yourself, you learn and got knowledge, and that will help you in our corporate life. I have seen many times that somebody coming with the big degrees and they miserably fail, versus somebody coming from very average schools, they could flourish. So there is and I mean, you guys are already having such a good educations, and you are already high set anyway compared to, I'm talking about 6 billion other people in this world. I mean, you are the top of top anyway to start with. And whatever your faith, beliefs, ethics, whatever it is, be the way. So what I told you is go beyond religion. Be humanist, be the way. So we could switch gears, go to my practical side of life. But before that, again, any questions, answers, anything comes to your mind? What do you think?
I don't know. It's like still learning everything.
But that's what you do with, that's what this education is for. That you go and contemplate on it, I learn it, what does it mean? And churn your head. And see, there is nothing right or wrong in life. Everything, scriptures, everything is there. But what you interpret and put it in yourself, that's what is more important. And this formula I give you for happiness, what you do is that whenever you get happy, sad, try to analyze it. What makes me happy? What makes me sad? It takes several years to critically analyze it. But if you keep on doing those things, you will figure it out. Yeah, this gives me more joy. To me, sometimes if I go and help some poor, needy, oh my God, I feel so elevated and all that. Versus if somebody gave me $100,000, at least at my stage of life, doesn't mean much. So it's what it takes to make you happy, and if you analyze it, I'm sure you will figure it out that there is some value to this thing. Let's go to, it's a very brief, go ahead please.
What about like the caste system?
Great point. You have to understand that you are in America, and when I came to America, I found out a lot of new things about Hinduism. Oh, I didn't know. And many textbooks, you open it, there is probably 30% of page spent on caste system, untouchabilities, women's issues, and all that. What Hinduism in Gita, what it says that the Shudra, there are 4 type of traits: businessmen, the Kshatriya, the fighters, the priest class, and the working class. And the working class job is to go and serve somebody. Okay, so that's what Gita says. Who is working class? I'm working class. 99%, 95% of people working in San Francisco area, they're working class. They work for somebody. In old days, it used to be that everybody has their own business and farming and all those things. But today, everybody works for somebody else anyway. So we are all Shudra. Yeah, whether this is not an issue in India or Hinduism, yes, it is an issue. There are people consider that, some people as untouchable and all that. But in life, it's important that when you have an issue, whether you recognize the issue and took care of it, that is more important, right? You agree? So in Hinduism, yes, Gandhi noticed that this is a bad practice going on within Hinduism, within communities. Today, if you are untouchable, actually today people are fighting that we are untouchable to prove it. Because if you are untouchable, government has reserved 30% of the seats for untouchables or people who are discriminated. In medical college, engineering, top-notch schools, everybody. So if you are in that 30% category, oh my God, you will zip in even with a much lower scores. So the point is, India has made it, India starting from Gandhiji as the independence, we worked on it, and it's almost on the way of eradication. Yes, so I agree. there is an issue, may not be saying clearly in these scriptures, but now we are acting on it and will be improved. What else do you learn about Hinduism in the school, and which is contrast to what I said?
Last class when we talked about the caste system, we were talking about the American dream, and we were comparing it because in first instance they seem so different. You know, there's an idea of the American dream that you can come here, work hard, and get very high, and in the caste system where you're stuck in this caste and you cannot move. But then we were like, but that's not always true, because in the U.S. we also have a caste system. Because if you are poor and a person of color,
It takes time.
it's not easy like for you to go up, you know. But we have like Barack Obama. We're like, oh, if a black president did it, everybody can do it. But it's not really true.
Yeah.
So it's and we were saying, hold on, we were looking at it sociologically,
Right.
like how an idea can influence how people act and treat each other. So
So it's
Thank
the
you
same
for
thing.
answering that.
It's Barack Obama. That's the example I was going to bring it. That yes, America has also discriminated color people, but they still. I don't blame white Americans for it, because now they are acting on it. They realize their mistake, and to put a white.
some of them.
See, I always take life this way, that there is never going to be 100% perfect. And my experience, 40 years in America, I found it that Americans in general, majority, are wholeheartedly welcoming and are flourishing. So I have no complaint for what white Americans have done it to me and in general. Yes, there are always needs improvement. I agree.
Of course, yes.
So interfaith marriages. Probably 40% from all faiths, Catholics, Jews, they marry interfaith. So when somebody 40% already married, meaning same number of percentage may have already dated, and some decided no, it doesn't work out. So what I would say that probably, I don't know, more than 70% of you will get in interfaith love one or other time. Catholic to these evangelicals, or to Muslims, or Hindus, or whatever, or atheists, whatever. So in college, you will be hit by these things, or your friends will be. So this knowledge will have, it's only 2 slides, so I'm not dwelling too much on it. In 2006, it hit me, oh no, something is wrong, it doesn't make sense. So I took it on myself, set up this web forum, which I gave you. And now I have considered some 1,200 views. There are 24,000 views, just like you. It's a forum, and millions of hits. And now I have summarized everything in this guidebook. What I found that 38% of Hindus and 45% of Muslims marry interfaith in America. And this survey I did it with a Muslim girl. We did it hand-in-hand. And when we started it, we thought that Muslims will come out maybe 5-10%. That's what I was thinking when we opened it. 45%. And same number of males and female Muslim girls, 45.1 and 55% too. So interfaith marriage is everything. But the big difference, what I have seen in my experience out of 1,200 years, most Hindus are, when they marry, they are willing to accept the other faiths, because they are told all God are saved. So if they marry Catholic, this is, do you mind baptizing? He said, oh, Jesus, yeah, sure, I will accept Jesus. But in 90%, if 99% of Muslims in America, or at least in the world, in my experience, that they want the other party to convert. And it's a stark contrast, because there is exclusivism. There is only one God, Allah. And so this is the fundamental fact that I want the world to know. I'm not pointing one particular finger. Hindus could be same way religious fanatic too. So what you could do is just when you are in this situation, or your friend is in that situation, just get little deep into it, understand it. So, and then I wrote this book. Now, how the love progresses. When you will go, you don't have intention to get married to somebody from outside faith. Let's say you did not. But everybody in colleges, you will talk that, oh, we are secular, we are pluralists, there is one God, so why to fight? Wonderful. And then by association, you get into love with somebody from other faiths. And then after you get into a romantic relationship for years, and then finally the question comes up that convert. And it may not work for you. It says, no, it's not illogical. But then you already wasted so many years in relationship, you are already trapped into it. And then to present convert, that's not acceptable to me. I think it's not right. You have to be honest upfront and tell people. So, what you don't realize, the power of religious institutions and parents, that's factor you may miss out. Because over here, when you get together, you are so rah, yeah, we are all same and all that. But you don't realize this one. To show the power of religious institution, this girl, Maya, who comes to me, she's in love with a Christian boy, Hindu girl, Christian boy. Christian boy does not want her to convert. She says, no, you stay Hindu, because that's what you found it. But her church is telling that Maya must get baptized and write a prenuptial agreement that the children will be raised only in the Catholic faith. She says, I don't have any problem, but it's just to write prenuptial agreement, it just makes me nervous. What should I do? Further, what she's writing in her own words, that the church is blackmailing them. That if Maya does not go through, the church will take away the communion rights, and the parents, Christian parents, the burial sites, and they will take it away. Now think of the tremendous pressure put on this 24 years young girl. She cannot explain all those things to Hindu parents, don't understand it. She's already in love with this guy. The guy is really open-minded. But if she does not do this baptism, then whoever that in-law she wants to please them, they will be totally punished. So I mean, tremendous pressure put on individual, and that's the situation you will be sometime. You will be put in such a tremendous situations. And then you say, okay, what the hell, I'll convert. Even though you don't have intention, you will convert. And that's wrong, what I'm saying, and that's why I'm out to educate people. And that's why all my experiences I'm summarizing here. By the way, I'm giving 3 books to this school, and however appropriate if you want to look it over. And everything is on the guidebook I have presented. So what I'm trying to say in interfaith marriage, what should be the way it should be, and I'm sure you will agree. As the title of my book, you have to learn to share faiths. Both have faiths. Why you are being superiorist, that no, it's only my faith is my way is right. Respect others, as I keep on saying all the time. And equality, 50-50. If you present it to the other party upfront that yes, we will have equality. I mean, and if the party says no, it's only my faith, you says kick in the back. So that's what I have to say. I like to hear. What do you like? You want to say something? You want to say something? You learned something today, or?
Well, I think you just emphasized everything that we've been taught. Not everything. We taught us a new thing, but just that the core of every religion, that there doesn't need to be conflict, but the core of it's just love, and that with interfaith marriage, like with the Catholic Church and what the girl went through, that shouldn't have been a problem. It should have just been there in love, and whatever the church, like institutionalized wise, they shouldn't have any say regarding that marriage or what their children are brought up in. That should be the parents' choice.
Yeah, that's when some religious institute dictate, and the boys and girls, they don't want it. They don't have any choice, but they have to follow it, and that's the way it goes as of today everywhere.
Now,
you want a wedding in the church?
Can I clarify something about that too? Like, so the official teaching of the church is that you can marry somebody of an outside faith, but then the teaching encourages the children to be raised. The thing is, like, depending on the bishop can decide how to implement that. So some bishops are very strict about it. They will have them do the prenuptial agreements. Other bishops, like the one in Hawaii, for example, I had a friend who was Catholic and married a non-Catholic, and she just had to go to some classes so that they could both understand what the Catholic faith is like. Because she also wanted a Catholic marriage.
So it's kind of subjective.
Huh?
It's kind of subjective.
A lot of times when you have a policy and then the way it gets implemented on a local level at each different place, where the church is a worldwide organization, so you have something coming from one place in Rome and then it gets implemented everywhere else in the world. There's some things that get lost in translation, right? Like if you go to Africa, you'll see a mass that's super different. If you go to some places that are far remote and don't have a priest, you don't have mass with a consecration, right? So there are the rules, the ideal, and then how it gets implemented, it's culturized. But yeah, in the United States, you have bishops that are denying funerals to people who do that. They deny funerals to people who are known practicing homosexual. They deny funerals for people who are cohabitating or who are divorced. But those are some bishops, and then you have other bishops that are like, that's wrong. So yeah, I feel very sorry for that.
It's a very true point that you cannot generalize these things.
Yeah.
And when it comes to interfaith marriage, you are only marrying one particular person and one family. And that may be, 99 may be horrible, but that person may be perfect. So my experience regarding Christianity is because it's an interfaith, it's a international organization, this thing. People come from. Christians from India, they are more strict for and more fanatic, I found it, for Hindus. And because they are taught that they are minority and they are taught to be not tolerate Hindus, they keep up. Versus Christians in Bay Area, oh my God! I mean, as a matter of fact, in the back, look, this Christian pastor wrote it right on the top over here. I mean, I'm amazed. And I gave it to Muslims and Jew friends, and they have written in the back of the book over here. And I'm amazed that I said, wow, you don't have any objection for whatever I'm saying?
My parents had an interfaith marriage because my dad is Jewish and my mom's Catholic. So it was just kind of the thing where like I've been raised learning about both religions, and like we do like Jewish traditions, like Passover, Rosh Hashanah and stuff. But we also like I go to a Catholic high school. But it was more just because like my parents wanted me to like learn about the religion rather than like actually practicing it. So it's kind of just like we do both religions and they're like respected with both of them. But it's like they didn't make me like choose it. Like my dad didn't make me get a pop instead because like I technically couldn't because my mom's not Jewish. So
See,
like, it was more just
that's exactly my dream comes true. That's exactly what my message is. Doesn't matter what faith is. And tell me, are you missing out anything in world? See? And you're so happy, both the parents are happy that, they are not happy that sometimes one parent is pushing this way and the other parent is pushing this way. But so far you have 40-60 balance or something, but when somebody says no, 100%, 0%, it will hurt somebody, right? So that's my message. Now I'm glad you shared your faith. That's exactly my message. You are my ultimate dream come true kind of situations. Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's like there's certain things it's like if we're doing like cats, my dad just won't go or stuff like that.
It's always going to be little conflict, but so far here there you take it, right. Because if you do the bar mitzvah, suppose if you do bar mitzvah in a week you have to go 3 times a week to those things, and so much involvement, so much, and then there is no time left for anything. Any other faith?
If you're, like, I wouldn't be able to create this Jewish religion unless my mom was converted to Judaism, because your mom is the one that dictates it,
Right.
not your dad, but like in other religions.
And she decided not to convert.
Yeah.
That's what I tell everybody. Anybody comes, I say, forget it. I call it this religious labeling, that baptism, praise, sadha, all that. I call it religion. You don't need religious labeling. Tell them, I will follow whatever you say, everything. I'll come to your church every time. I will have the biggest Jesus pictures on me and I will do everything.
Bigger than that one?
Yeah, no problem.
Do it.
But I will not baptize. And the reason for my saying this one is that when you put that point, if the other party is really, truly religious fanatic, they will walk away. That no, for me, this labeling is very important. I want 100%, 0%. Yeah, sorry.
For like interfaith marriages though, could you like a possibility be like for like the child maybe they don't have like a strong sense of faith, like what if their parents didn't want them to have a strong sense of faith, like how would they know which religion to like not truly believe in, which religion they wanted to like really develop, like or like be shared.
So you are saying that whether child will get confused in two faiths, yeah. It's a good point. That's a point I learned it coming to America. And everybody raised this Christian, Jews, Muslims, they raised the concept that you cannot raise child in two faiths because they will get confused. I have eaten Jesus prayed in church. I have prayed in mosque in the direction of Kaaba. I go, I'm not confused person. I don't feel I'm confused person when it comes to confusion comes in. It's when parents want they are exclusivist ideology that Jesus is the Son of God. That's not going to fit with Jewish people. No, Jesus is an apostle. He cannot be Son of a God because Judaism does not. I mean, God is some abstract person. God cannot have a son. Then you are like Hinduism. God has a son, daughter, wife, and everything. So it's a when you have a more exclusive ideology, that's why you say kids will get confused. If you are more pluralist, open-minded, all-inclusive, you will not feel kids will get confused. You teach both here, there. I mean, I don't think she's confused. I mean, she's will be just perfect human being and balanced human being. Yeah, it's not the one church or rabbi is not going to be happy with this situation. But this is the world.
Can I add something to that? Like, I think that it's in. Well, I also teach an ethics class, and in my ethics class, like, there's always this this question of like whether I should be teaching everything the church teaches, or whether I should put the church teaching in conversation with something that disagrees with the church's teaching. And I think that's where the key is. It's like it's not so much like what you teach the kid, but how do you teach the student. So if you the child. So if you have a child here, you have mom and you have dad, and mom is saying convert to Catholicism, and dad is saying convert to Islam, and they're teaching their kids with the purpose of indoctrinating the kid, and that will cause confusion, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But if mom and dad are saying, this is what I believe, okay? Dad is saying, this is what I believe, and then they're telling the kid, you form your own conscience, and you decide what you believe, then I think that's more like giving the kid the tools to decide what rings true to them in their heart, okay? Because I mean, I am one of the reasons I love the Hindu tradition is the concept that for you to find God, you have to look inside. Okay, and I know that Catholics believe that the soul and God are two different things. For Hindus, the soul and God are one and the same. But still, like I think that Catholics should look inside. I think the soul is there, but God is surrounding it. So, so for me, it's that matter of like giving the child the tools to form their own truth or to understand truth inside. So I think those are my 2 cents, and that's kind of like what guides my philosophy as I teach ethics or world religions, anything. I'm informing you. I'm not converting you. Okay?
But at the same token, probably for Islam, it's so vital, in the example you give, that you convert, because you cannot have Islamic nikah wedding between two Muslim and non-Muslim. Both must be Muslim, so you must convert. Now the problem I have is that Muslim believes that Quran is the ultimate word of God, which is good. And Quran says, Quran 2:21, that you have to marry to people of your own faith, and meaning the other party must convert. So if you want to honor your wishes of Allah, that I respect it. But Quran also says 24:30 that when a guy sees a girl, you're not supposed to see eye in eye, you should lower your gaze and walk away from it. That's what Quran, Allah told you. So why are you not following Allah's message 24:30, getting in romantic relations with someone for 3 to 10 years, and then saying that now Allah said 2:21 convert? I mean, are you Islam, Quran, whatever or not? Make up your mind. So problem is people when they do selectively take one thing and for their own advantage and putting people on the trap, that's my problem. And that's why when you go to college, I mean, be actively looking for this kind of interfaith marriage and try to make the challenging questions. What will be the faith of religion? Will they have a religious labeling and all that? And the one problem you will have is that in your school you will be all okay, but you don't realize the power of parents and religious institutions. And they will not budge. They will not budge, believe me. Yep, please.
I have a question, but it's kind of like off topic. What's your like stance on like yoga being so casual? like in America or anywhere.
So far I'm concerned, I'm happy everybody they are getting benefits and enjoying yoga. Me and my wife both loves yoga because it helps us. I mean, I start having some food problem. I thought start getting arthritis. Start doing yoga, it all disappear. So it's being yoga. I mean, people are now making it from original yoga. They're making it all to. Personally, it doesn't bother. It bothers to some Hindu groups that there are big magazines of yoga, hold so many this one. But there is not a single mention of Hinduism. They're not giving credit to Hinduism for bringing this yoga because they think that using Hinduism is some kind of fair, keep it off from them. Which is they says why don't you at least acknowledge the Hindu yoga or whatever, or not at least that's origin there. So yeah, personally I don't have any problem. I'm glad everybody enjoying it. It's something to offer. Any other point? Now, other point is you may think a role of woman. I thought that question may come up. That if I say that role,
We haven't talked a lot about women in Hinduism.
What is that?
We have not talked a lot about women in Hinduism, but that'll be great for you to please do.
Because I thought that question will come up. That I say that Hindus should be, women should be treated like goddess. Then why you hear all those news in media? So yeah, as far as religion is concerned, religion is stretching to give ultimate. Now, how it goes on locally. Okay, this is a video I took it at our temple in San Bruno, and so my point is in Hinduism, what I have seen all the time that male and female they get together. I mean, there is no separations there. We always have fun together, and there are a lot of liberties. I see that. Then where is the problem? Problem is whenever the woman is not coming from very poor background or not educated, and that's where the male. Because they tend to take advantage of it and really put that woman in really bad situation. So it has not to do with the culture or religion, but it's some bad elements. They just take advantage of it. See, this is from temple. You see the guys and girls. This is a typical. It's a 9-day festival currently going on. It's called Navratri, and what we are trying to do is place Ma Durga. The photo I showed you. That because Ma is, and it's a male and female, everybody worship the Ma Durga. I mean, this is, everybody are here for having good time, no doubt. And, but the point is, I mean, you don't see women being discriminated, husbands, wives, they get together and just have a good time. And for good cause. And this is our temple. And it's not only here in San Bruno. If you go to my state of Gujarat, every small village, poorest of poor, in small huts and all that, they will come out and play like that, guys and girls together. So my point being that it's not, it is a reality that women are suffering in India, many places. But again, it has to do with the not having proper education, and hopefully more education will happen.
Interesting religion. It's a nice culture.
What is that?
It's a nice culture. That's really interesting.
See, again, I will not say that ours is nice one. Okay, that's I want to say everything is nice. So I keep on saying that. No, as soon as if I try to show that, look, we have good things to offer, meaning others have bad things. No, that's not my objective. We have to just learn to whatever we have. I mean, everybody has something good to offer. I will say that. Divine Daily Cafeteria. Go to cafeteria, everything, salad is sitting there. Yeah, pick up. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, I like this thing. Pick what you like from every plate. What's wrong? Is it anything wrong? Salad ball, you have nice salad ball sitting. Looks interesting, right? You feel like eating. Versus what if I put everything in V8, blend it and give you V8 here? I'd rather have a salad. See, that's my message. Anything goes to your mind?
Well, it kind of just gave me like another. I mean, when you were talking about vegetarianism, like I practice it.
Oh, you practice vegetarian? Oh, good.
Because like environmental reasons.
Yes.
And stuff like that. But it's also just like thinking about it, like it reminded me how I didn't have any conscience about like how an animal is another soul. Typically, and it's another living being, and then how we kind of just like see it in packages,
many different
So,
It's a disrespect for some animal, and if you go and see how they are graded, how they are raised, and all that, it will really. I mean, yeah, and there are so many good options available, especially in Bay Area. I mean, why? Yeah, and yeah, Hinduism. It's a lot more earth friendly. So many, and because everything, plants and everything is godly creature to be respected. And in that case, yeah, you try to, and again, it's more violence too. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, please.
Where in San Bruno is your temple?
Okay, anybody you want to join, call me up. It's if you go on Google, Sanatan Mandir San Bruno, and it's a temple is there. If you do plan to come, definitely call me up. And one good thing I tell you, honestly, that Hinduism is not a proselytizing religion. We have one girl, Ashley Moore. She has been coming to our temple for almost a year or two now. And I don't know whether anybody ever asked that, Ashley, are you Hindu? Did you convert to Hindu? We never even bother asking her whether she converted. She's coming good. No, nobody tried to approach her, become Hindu. Take this book and all that. Nothing. She's coming, she likes it. She says, she likes Ashley, she loved this lady being a powerful force. In one presentation, she says when she was growing up, being grown up, she was a tomboy. She's really fighter, and I'm girl, so what? I could be. She says she found really connection into this Ma Durga, that I could be still girl, woman, and still I could be powerful. So she finds so much connection into this one. But yeah, you are welcome to join anytime. Call me up.
And there, what's the Festival of Lights?
That's a Diwali that will be coming in October. October.
So I was thinking about offering some extra credit if a student who chose to go to that celebration.
Honestly, right?
This year is October 18th.
What?
Yeah,
so what-
Diwali is actually Buddhism, Jainism, all of them follow Diwali. There are little different reasons to go for it. For example, Hindus, it's Lord Rama. It's a good over evil. So Lord Rama, he was in exile, and when he came back and took over the kingdom of that Ayodhya. At that time, it was so dark. Everybody got so dark, joyous, and everybody put that earthen lamp and light up the town. So that's a symbolism, and that's why it's a good over evil, destruction of evil, and now they're going to be over. So that's the reason.
Festival of Lights.
Festival of Lights.
Does anybody have any other questions? We have maybe one more minute or so. Well, can you please join me in thanking our guests for today?
And I don't know, I'm giving 3 copies of
Oh,
book.
thank you
How are
so
they-
very much. Yes, I'll check one in at the library.